Good morning. It is Tuesday, November 19th. Here's what we're working on. The Ontario government is testing some changes to its controversial long-term care law after issues with cultural homes.
Halton police are investigating a scam involving selling fake tickets to Taylor Swift's Eras concerts in Toronto.
And Rod Stewart set to say farewell to touring with one last run across North America. Gotta say, it's a little chilly this morning.
Yeah. Yesterday was spectacular.
Yeah.
Can we just say that?
It was so beautiful
spectacular.
outside.
And you're always like, at this time of the year, Brian, you're always like, is this the last really, really nice day?
That's what I was thinking yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. It's like, I wonder if we're going to get any more like this.
It was a day to get out and really enjoy. You know, we got to 13 degrees yesterday. Not quite a record, but still absolutely gorgeous.
And
day.
Nice and sunny.
Sunny, light winds. It was just beautiful. I hope you enjoyed the sun yesterday because it's gone for a while. I mean, we could see a little squeak or two this morning, but then it is going to become cloudy as the day progresses. We'll get some showers, some drizzle, and that's the way it's going to be for the next, right straight through our 7-day forecast. Clouds, drizzle, temperatures around 9 to 10 degrees for the day today, and then steadily dropping off as we head toward the weekend. So it will get cooler, it's going to be cloudy, and it's going to be fairly damp as well. So we're sitting at 4 degrees right now, a bit cooler than it was yesterday morning. We'll talk about the details in the forecast in a few minutes. Right now, check on traffic. Got nothing to talk about. No collisions, no volume. It's looking good here at the 403 and Waterdown Road. That's our exclusive camera. A few MTO traffic cameras give you an idea that things are pretty light volume. I mean, it's a little busier Toronto-bound coming towards us at the Red Hill Creek, but as you can see, top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge looks good. No problems east of Bronte, either direction, no problems there. So weather and traffic coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, the Ontario government is proposing a pilot project to address concerns with cultural long-term care home emissions. And the problems stem from its own long-term care priority rules that were imposed a couple of years ago. Simone Gavros joins us now from one of the cultural long-term care homes in Hamilton.
Well, Annette, the concern here is that people are being placed into these cultural long-term care homes that typically cater to cultures such as Greek, Italian, Jewish, or Korean cultures. And these individuals are not a part of these cultures and may not speak the language or identify with these communities. Meantime, there are people that are trying to get into these cultural long-term care homes, and they're being placed elsewhere. And sometimes these wait lists are filled with hundreds of people trying to get into these specific locations. Now, this issue stems from Bill 7, which came into play in 2022, also known as the More Beds, Better Care Act. That requires hospitals to move patients that are ready to be discharged into long-term care homes not of their choosing. And if they refuse, they could be fined. Now, the province is now proposing rules that would let placement coordinators prioritize cultural admissions within what's called the crisis category, and that largely consists of people waiting in hospital. Long-term care minister Natalia Kusendova-Bashta says there are more than 6,000 people on the crisis wait list. In the proposal, she says the pilot is necessary to support placements into LTCs that serve particular religions, ethnic, or linguistic origin. Some advocates say that this is a helpful step and hopes that the new rules will be expanded beyond a pilot project. Now, at this time, the proposal doesn't specify which long-term care homes are included in this proposal or for how long this pilot project is going to go on for, but we did reach out to the long-term care minister for more details on that this morning. For now, Tim, I'll send things back to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. I want to bring you some new details on a story that we brought you yesterday. Halton Police confirming it's investigating an elaborate and local Taylor Swift ticket scam that has cheated people across North America out of more than $300,000.
To date, we've received approximately 40 plus reports regarding people that were scammed out of those tickets. One primary vendor right now. Investigation obviously is ongoing into this. Right now we're looking at probably somewhere around $70,000 in losses to these 40 plus people.
So police say it's connected to one vendor. who those scammed identify as a woman from Burlington who they thought was a reputable ticket seller that they know. CHC News spoke with the woman over the weekend who said that she had also been scammed and filed a police report, but she has not answered any questions since. Police in Hamilton, Niagara, and Toronto say they're also receiving complaints and investigating fraudulent tickets.
A surveillance camera in Toronto caught the crash between a stolen vehicle and a TTC bus. This video, obtained by City News, shows a black SUV running a red light, followed by a white car that's hidden behind the bus that it hit. The impact turned the bus around. Now, 9 people were hurt, including 2 in the stolen white BMW. Toronto's Police Association say both of those people were out on bail. Police are looking for the driver of the black SUV. The 2 vehicles had been speeding along Wilson Avenue near Bathurst just before 2 yesterday morning.
Let's come back to Hamilton, and the Crown is wrapping up its case in the trial of a man accused in a series of attacks in downtown Hamilton, one of them deadly. Keith Overholt is charged with first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder. So the court was shown video from November 9th, 2020, taken from surveillance cameras on York Boulevard at Queen Street. So the man police identified as Overholt is seen carrying a large stick that he uses to hit an unsuspecting woman in the head repeatedly until neighbors scare him off. The Crown says later security footage shows him at an Esso gas station on King Street before he walks to an alley on Duke Street near James Street South. That's where the body of 29-year-old Andrew Ainscow was found the next morning, stabbed 37 times. The court heard that Overholt's shoes had spots of blood on them that matched the DNA profile of Ainscow. Overholt allegedly swung his knife at a third person that night who was not hurt.
A man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant may be in the Hamilton or Brantford areas. The Repeat Offender Parole Enforcement Squad is looking for 69-year-old John Francis Curtin. He's white, 5'10", with a medium build, hazel eyes, and long gray and brown hair. He has a noticeable scar on his nose and usually wears a beard. He's been convicted of several charges, including impaired driving, robbery, and forgery. Well, it has now been 1,000 days since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. It started on February 24th, 2022. It comes as Russian missiles struck Sumy in northern Ukraine and Odessa in the south, killing at least 21 people and injuring dozens. The United States is easing limits on what Ukraine can strike with long-term weapons it's supplied, after months of ruling out such a move over fears of escalating the war. The Kremlin warns Washington's decision to let Ukraine strike targets inside of Russia now with U.S.-supplied longer-range missiles will add fuel to the war and escalate international tensions.
But when you look at escalation of this conflict, it has been Russia that has escalated the conflict time and time again. And that includes just in the recent month when Russia recruited the deployment of more than 11,000 North Korean soldiers who are now on the front lines in Kursk, engaging in combat operations against the Ukrainian military. That is a major escalation by Russia.
UN Refugee Agency says the war in Ukraine has resulted in one of the largest displacement crises in the world. More than 10 million Ukrainians have been forced to leave their homes. Of these, 6.7 million have sought refuge in other European countries. A multi-generational novel that starts in the First World War has won the largest prize in Canadian literature. Held by Anne Michaels won this year's Giller Prize and the $100,000 that goes with it. Accepting the award last night in Toronto, Michaels appealed for unity among all the arts. Protesters outside renewed their demands for the Giller Foundation to cut its ties with several corporate sponsors, including Scotiabank, over its stake in an Israeli arms manufacturer. A number of authors had also withdrew their works from consideration.
Into Sportsline we go, and listen, it's been a tough start to the season for the Toronto Raptors. Coming into their game with Indiana last night, they had lost 7 straight and only won 2 of their first 12. Now, let's be honest, expectations were rather low coming in, but they halted that streak at home against the Pacers.
Making the game easy for himself.
Grady turns the corner, working with Birdo with the hammer.
I have to give a shout out to Jakob Poeltl, who threw that one down right there. He dropped 30 points and 15 rebounds, coming off a career-high 35 in a loss to Boston on Saturday. But R.J. Barrett, he was the top scorer for the Dinos. He would set a record for most points scored by a Canadian playing for the Raptors. He had 39. Toronto beats Indiana 130-119 to snap that streak and start the "we're not the worst, we're not the worst" as they're out of the NBA basement. Woohoo! Minnesota arrives at the bank on Thursday.
Volkovsky on him. It's rolled around. Matheson with a shot.
So coming off an overtime loss to the Leafs on Saturday, Connor McDavid hoping to get things back in order in Montreal against the lowly Canadiens. Unfortunately, that did not work out, as the game was scoreless until late in the second when Brendan Gallagher breaks the donut. The Habs would add another in the third, and then an empty netter, well, keeping McDavid and crew off the board. They get shut out 3-0 in the final. Sam Montembeault made 30 saves for the shutout. Oilers continue their trip east in the nation's capital tonight against the Sens. And we know Hamilton's Darnell Nurse will not be in the lineup tonight after taking a hit to the head on Saturday night by the Leafs' Ryan Reeves. Ouch. Reeves, he's been suspended 5 games for the hit, while Nurse, he's going to be out for the next 5 to 10 days as he recovers from falling and hitting his head on the ice, according to his coach, Chris Knobloch. Nurse is recovering well, but the team will just take their time with him.
Ovechkin was on the board. Dubois looking for the captain. Ovechkin fires. He scores!
There is nobody hotter right now than the Capitals' Alex Ovechkin. Coming off that hat trick on Sunday we told you yesterday about, the grade 8, he would have 2 more goals in Utah last night. He now leads the league with 15 in 18 games. And get this, that's the most he has scored in his career after 18 games, which is saying something for the 39-year-old. He is now 27 behind Wayne Gretzky for the all-time goals record. But this isn't good. He did have to leave the game in the third with a knee injury. The team says he will be reevaluated today just to see the extent of the injury. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
2nd and 6. Rush. Ball knocked out of his hand and ends up in the arms of Guyton. He gets it knocked out by Petrie, and the return for the touchdown by Derek Barnett.
What was that? We finished in the Lone Star State, where that play is the perfect description of the Dallas Cowboys season. Just a hot mess. His backup QB, Cooper Rush, is stripped of the ball. His lineman picks it up, then he fumbles it as Houston takes it back for the touchdown. Texas never trailed in the Monday Nighter. They hand the Cowboys a 5th straight loss, 34-10 in the final. Big trouble for Jerry Jones and his team. Are now 3-7. The roof was falling down too. We'll get to that coming up in Sportsline. Houston, they're 7-4 as we wrap up week 11 in the NFL already.
Just about 6:13 here on this Tuesday morning. We're looking at mainly clear skies at the moment, so that bodes well for the morning. We could get some sunshine, but it's going to get cloudy, and we'll talk about that coming up. First of all, I want to talk about traffic. Traffic this morning, doing okay. No collisions, not a lot of volume. Looking at the 403 and Waterdown Road, that's our camera, doing fine right there. We'll go into St. Catharines, see if there's anything happening. Nope, nothing. QEW east of Lake looks good, so nothing there. Red Hill Creek still looks good. We'll check east of Brant Street. Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us on this camera. Now Toronto-bound away from us, east of Royal Windsor around the Ford plant. And here's Etobicoke Creek. Looks okay, so nothing going on in traffic this morning. Let's get to our temperature. Temperature this morning, a couple of degrees cooler than we were yesterday at this time. We're sitting at 4 degrees right now. Winds are fairly light, but once again, the relative humidity is right up there. Actually, skies are fairly clear at the moment. It was pretty cloudy a little while ago. For school today, don't look to see a lot of sunshine like we had yesterday. What a day yesterday. Today, though, clouds will get some showers rolling in, maybe even some drizzle. Temperature today should hit 9 degrees, so above seasonal, but it will be less than we had yesterday. We have an approaching frontal boundary, low pressure system to the northwest. That's going to push that line of clouds with the showers ahead of it, and then the frontal boundary goes through, and then we have yet another low pressure system that's going to arc its way around us and around the Great Lakes, and actually it's going to keep us fairly cloudy over the next, well, number of days. So today, maybe a little bit of sunshine this morning, otherwise clouds, showers, drizzle. Temperatures anywhere from 9 to 12 degrees today. Tonight, will be mild. Actually, the temperature will dip a fair bit and then climb tonight to 7, 8, and 9 degrees. So, you know, it's going to be fairly mild, but it will be cloudy with showers and drizzle and fog patches. Tomorrow will be milder, 14 for Niagara, 10, 12, and 13 other areas, but fairly cloudy. Once again, showers, drizzle throughout the day, so not a lot of sunshine there. So, 19th morning of November already, mostly cloudy to clear, depending on where you are at the moment. As I said, it was mostly cloudy. Temperature right now sitting at 4 degrees. And we'll look at the long-range forecast in a few minutes. Annette.
Okay, right after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. And in business news, Ontario residents are still facing higher living costs despite cuts to inflation. I'll tell you why. 6:17, and we're saying good morning to Emily Vukovic.
Hi, good morning. Coming up, Gladiator 2. The trailer looks so good. It comes out in theaters this week.
Is it?
And the last trailer dropped yesterday.
Did it? Okay. And it's getting some pretty good reviews.
Yeah.
It has anytime these sequels, you know what I mean? Especially when the first one's so good and it was so long ago. It's like almost 25 years ago.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I've got to go back and watch the first one.
Well, Russell Crowe is fantastic. Anyway, so look forward to it.
Rod Stewart is doing one final tour, and Beyonce is going to be performing during the halftime show during an NFL game on Christmas Day.
Okay, I got some things to say about that.
I'm sure you do.
We'll do that over on the couch because it's where we're seeing this NFL game that I have comments on.
Okay.
See you at the couch in a little bit.
Okay, taking a look at overseas trading, the Canadian dollar is down 3 basis points this morning to 71.33 cents U.S. More on the dollar coming up. Gold is up $20 and crude is down 26 cents. Below $69 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are down across the board with triple-digit losses in Frankfurt and Paris.
Off to Asia we go. Markets were up across the board in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. North American markets starting the trading week. How are we doing? Come on, baby. North American markets. They gained, there we go. 86 points. The Dow was down 55. NASDAQ up 111. We'll see when the trading markets open at 9:30 this morning. How they do on this Tuesday, November the 19th.
So some experts expect the Canadian dollar to stay weak until at least the end of this year. Our dollar has dropped almost 4% in value against the U.S. dollar since September. U.S. dollar has soared further since Donald Trump's election win because he has promised sweeping tariffs on all U.S. imports. An economist with CIBC Capital Markets says the threat of tariffs will likely keep our dollar low for months. However, she says it could rebound early next year if Canada can negotiate with the new U.S. administration.
The Ontario Living Wage Network has calculated what people need to be paid per hour in order to make a living. Overall, there was a 3.7% increase from last year. Now, in Hamilton, the living wage has been pegged at $21.30 per hour. In the Brant, Haldimand, Norfolk, Niagara region, it's $20.90. Currently, Ontario's minimum wage is $17.20 an hour.
An aging portion of the Juravinski Hospital on Hamilton Mountain is set to undergo a big renovation to add 100 more beds. The M wing of the hospital is over a century old and it needs updates. The rebuild will add wider hallways, more elevators, heating, better heating and ventilation, as well as 100 private rooms, each with their own bathroom, to help spread disease. The project, or help prevent the spread of disease. The project will likely cost more than $2 billion, and the local share will cost as much as $300 million. Construction is set to start in 2028.
Okay, that's a couple more business stories for you. Coming up after the break, hopefully you got your fill, your vitamin D yesterday, because I don't know.
I did.
Good.
I was soaking it up.
Good. Hope you did too, because might not see it for a little bit.
Here we go, 6:24 already. Checking traffic this morning. Nothing happening in St. Catharines. The Niagara area is moving very well. No problems with volume there. But brake lights coming on as you head down the Skyway Bridge toward North Shore Boulevard. Obviously, Toronto-bound lanes heading away from us on that camera. Toronto-bound towards us east of Bronte. Sheridan looks good in both directions, dipping into the 403 going through Mississauga. Not a lot to see this morning. Temperature this morning is, well, still way above seasonal, but it's cooler than it was yesterday. We're sitting at 4 for Hamilton, 6 Grimsby, and for Mississauga. A little better for Toronto, sitting at 8 degrees. Seasonals, -1 for an overnight low, and, well, 6 degrees for the daytime high. We got to 13 in the sunshine yesterday. Don't look for sunshine today, as are our sun times and our records for today. For school today, we could see a little glimmer of some sunshine this morning. But 7 degrees for the first bell, 8 degrees for after school. There comes the showers and chance of drizzle as well. So today, 9 degrees with that clouds moving in, showers, drizzle possible. The temperature actually dips a little bit, but then comes up again. We're going to stay around 9 degrees for the overnight. Tomorrow, 10, again, clouds and showers. And then look what happens all the way through the week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, cloud, showers, and 7, 6 on Sunday, 3 only on Monday. At least we kick away the precipitation for one day, but not a lot of sun. Hope you enjoyed it yesterday. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Okay, here's an example of social media doing good for an animal.
Okay.
Because a tortoise is recovering in Arizona after it got stuck in a concrete canal.
So it needed help, and it got it through a Facebook post. Arizona State's fire and medical authorities saw the post about the stranded turtle and showed up to see if they could help. Luckily, a turtle enthusiast was on site, so she took it to a rescue facility to get it all checked out. And I'm assuming that's her right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good stuff.
Like that.
Yeah.
People coming together for animals.
Totally. Totally awesome right there.
You really come out of your shell.
Yeah, sometimes. Well, it's time to celebrate, I would think.
Snappy. Oh.
Getting some groans over there.
Yeah, groans.
Oh,
Groans
man,
from
okay.
Brian.
Well,
That's
we'll work it. A couple.
okay. We'll talk after the break.